morning, students. Myself Subhu sir. Again, I welcome you all in political science class. And in the political science, we had been discussing the chapter 4, that is the electoral politics. And in this electoral politics, we have already discussed regarding the constituency. We have also discussed about the reserved constituency, the voter list, nomination, who can contest election, and only the eligible candidate can file their nomination. Then people go for comping. All these happenings that we are seeing, election is held at a regular interval. Is it the election for the central government or the election for the state government, even the election for the local level? No doubt, the election at the local level is being conducted by the state. The state government and the central government is being conducted by the Election Commission of India. The election of president as well as the vice president is also being conducted by the same group. This election commission was organized or formed or established on 25th January 1950. It was on the 25th January 1950. After this one, the 25th January is now observed as the Voters' Day. Why so? Because the Election Commission of India was established on this day. The election commissioner, these are the three election commissioners at the central level. One is the chief election commissioner, and two is the election commissioner. They are being appointed by the president, and president is chief of the head of the executive. These election commissioners are appointed by the executive, but the president cannot remove it. The election commissioner can be removed from their post only by the parliament on impeachment and the 2/3 majority. It means we see that election commissioner has a separate power. Election commissioner or commission is an autonomous body. It means it do not work under the regulation of the central or the state government. It do work under the constitution. Article 324 of the Indian Constitution provide for the functioning, working and appointment of the election commission, but it is means free from the political party, whether it is a ruling or the opposition party. The main aim of the election commission in India is to conduct the free and fair election, and to conduct the free and fair election commissions has introduced many laws time to time to conduct the election. In 1971, in the 5th Lok Sabha election, the first time the election commission has introduced the code of conduct that we generally say what is the code of conduct. It means as soon as the election date has been announced, no any more work can be done, no new foundations can be done the ruling party. Means if it is being done, we have already discussed, it means one is bribing the voters. And if the voters has been bribed, then there would be no the free and fair election. You may say how the voter is being bribed. If a political party, or this political party, I want to say the ruling party, who is giving the foundation stone for a particular work, then simply it comes in the mind of the people that the government is doing the better work, and they forgive the later on. The instant action of the ruling party would be to divert the mental setup of the voters. That's why it is being prohibited. And since when? In 1971, first it was introduced. I have told you, to conduct the free and fair election, election commissioners is trying the various steps. Before, in the earlier video, we have discussed one topic, that was the EPIC. EPIC, Election Photo Identity Card. It was introduced in 1993. EPIC was introduced in 1993, but in 2004 election, it was made mandatory, means compulsory, because one cannot go. Means this is EPIC is not the ultimate or extreme conditions that without EPIC one cannot cast the vote. There is another proof is also there, ration card is there, driving license there, passport is there, but EPIC was made mandatory, but it should have. If one has not there, then they can use the another papers to check the bogus voting in the election. Election Commissioner also try to renew their voter list. Time to time they renew the voter list, so that the inclusion and exclusion of voters, because political parties try to include the false name and exclude the correct name. If the political party, whether it is the ruling the opposition, because basically it is done by the ruling party, if that area or the people they think that this area they are going to less vote, they may omit the few names. These names omission and the new name inclusion, the new name that has been included, that is a false name which may support that political party. That's why time to time it becomes the duty of the election commission to revive and see the conditions what the actually is happening. Generally, you might have been seeing in the news that the news broadcast or the channels provide the opinion poll and the exit poll. This is two basic difference. Opinion poll. Opinion poll before the elections, the channels try to set and calculate the mind of the peoples to whom they are going to vote, because in our country there is a more chances are there, 66% chances are there that the sitting MP or MLA would going to lose the election. It is not happening in the other European countries, but in India there is chances. We have also discussed already that there are more chances that the ruling party is going to lose election, because people think that their policy is not good one. But if the ruling party is doing the work in the favor of the people, they think the government is doing the better work, then in that case the people may elect the same. The opinion poll and exit poll is being banned during the as soon as the election starts, because it may affect the sentiment of those areas where the voting had not taken place, and the system shows that the election in the whole country do not take place at a time. If we talking about the bigger state itself, if we talk about the UP, Bihar, West Bengal, Madhya Pradesh, in these states also the election for all the MLA seats, assembly seats do not take place in one day. And we are talking about the MP election, parliamentary election, all the 543 seats are not being polled on the same day. That's why there is a ban on the opinion poll. Exit poll is there where the election is taking place and the voters who are coming out of after casting the vote, they are being asked to which party they have been given the vote. Their name is not disclosed, but they may prepare a chart according to this data. They give the opinion which party or alliance is going to form the government. If the election has taken place in one or two areas on 10, 50 or 100 constituency and an exit poll shows the indication for a particular party, then this result may affect the election in the other one. That's why the election commission's ban on the opinion poll as well as the exit poll. You might have been seeing in the news opinion exit poll. As the election starts, exit poll stops at the same the day when the last election takes place in the evening after the 5 when the last election is taking place. The timing is remain up to the 5. They start telecasting all the data that they have got it, because by the time election is over, so it cannot be changed. Election Commissions is an autonomous body, it cannot be removed. No political party can influence the working of the election commissioners because they are free from these political party. We have discussed all this because there is a less chance that the ruling party who are in the majority can remove the election commissioners. Even they are appointed by the head of the executive. But it would be removed by the whole parliament by the 2/3 majority. And can you think if the oppositions are not ready, then the election commissions may be removed? Because it becomes impossible task to attain the majority in both the houses, 2/3 majority in both the houses, not in one house. Yes, if you see the data that you can find that one political party may attain the majority in Lok Sabha, but in the Rajya Sabha it becomes almost impossible for a party to get the majority. Yes, it is possible if a political party is winning continuously in the central government and also they are winning in the state government more than the 50% state, then there is chances that after the 10 years or 12 years when the two terms will take overs, then they may get the majority, but it is not happening. That's why we say the election commissioner is independent. Election commissions do provide the service till either his age is 65 years or he complete the term of 6 years. So we have got about the working of the election commissioner or election commission who try to provide the free and fair election in India, and time to time they are implementing new policy to conduct the free and fair election. In the previous video we have also discussed regarding the just restricting the use of money power by the political leaders, political party or political candidate. So maximum expenses has been fixed, that we have discussed already. For the MP election it is the 70 lakhs for the bigger estate and 54 lakhs for the smaller estates. And MLA election it is 28 lakhs and the 20 lakhs for the smaller estate. This we have discussed. Means it is being conducted by the election commission. It is an authority, autonomous authority. Now people's participations. How much do people participate in this election? People's participations, or we can say it is the turnout. It means the number of people who do participate in the election, who are the eligible one. And out of these eligible, how many people are going to cast their vote? This is called voters turnout. If we see the data for the last three elections, if we see the last parliamentary election, if we are saying it, if we are seeing the 2009 election, 2014 election and 2019 election. 2009, the people's participations, it was around 58.49%. It increased in 2014 and it reached to 66.40%. Then if we see the 2019 election, it reached to 67.11%. What does this data show? I have given the data for the last three elections or parliamentary election. This data shows that the more and more people are now coming for the election. Why so? Why this turnout has been increased? Now people are more conscious about their political rights. And it has increased after 1993-94 when the local self-government was implemented in the all parts of the country. So people who are the villagers has now emerging as the new political framework, new political order, new political platform. They are participating in more numbers. But if we compare the participations of the peoples in India and other European country, take it up, USA, we find the trend is different. What is the trend is different? In India, the literate peoples who have the responsibility regarding all these things, they are less interested in the vote, means polling the vote. They enjoy it as a holiday. But the poor peoples, villagers, they are participating more in numbers. But as a contrast, if we see the USA election or in the other European countries, where the rich one or the high groups or the literate peoples, they are more participating in the election, and the lower one or the poor peoples in the America, we can say the blacks one, they are less participating in the election. This is two contrasts that we are finding it in India elections and in US election. If we see the social groups, if we see the social group wise, we find the more participations is of SC and ST. SC and ST just going to the 60 and 61%. They are more participating in it. And if we see the area wise, then we find the big cities, the election percentage is less, but in the small cities, the small town and the village area, means rural areas, the participation is quite high. This trend is not a good sign, as the poor peoples, as the illiterate peoples, if they are participating it because it is the duty of all the peoples, means who are eligible. Eligible means anyone who has attained the age of 18 years, it becomes their duty to participate in the election. And because and form the government because they are going to decide their future for the coming 5 years. In India, if we see the trends, the people's participation is increasing. That the data is shown. The people's participation is increasing, or it is stagnant. But if we see the European countries, the people's participation is on the decline line. Why? More people are participating in it. Because if the election take place, people find themselves directly or indirectly means engaged or consulted or with the concerned with any political party. Maybe on the name of the religion, maybe on the name of the caste, maybe on the name of the region. In India, many regional parties are emerging. If we see the 2019 election itself, this is a parliamentary election. More than 400 political party has participated in it. If we see about the unorganized political party, its number would be much more. These more than 400 political parties that participated, it means they are the local party and they influences the politics of the local area. That's why it is becoming impossible for a single political party to get the majority. See the trend after 1984 in this election. The Congress, or we can say INC, it is known as the Congress, it got around 404 parliamentary seats. It was the year when Indira Gandhi she was assassinated. Indira Gandhi was assassinated and the sympathy vote transferred to the Congress party and Congress party won the election with the, one can say, one of the greatest majority of a single party in India. Then after 1984 election, we find that no single party was getting the majority until it was the 2014 election in which NDA got the majority. Among the NDA, it was the BJP who itself got the majority. And again in 2019 election, the same NDA group and BJP was also, but it got even the larger majority than the previous. If we see the gap after 1984 and before 2014, whatever election had taken place, in this election no single party got the majority. What was the main reason? The main reason was the existence of many regional parties. And why the regional party? It was due to the political rights. People are becoming more and more aware about their political rights. And they try to understand that if they raise their voice, then only their demand would be fulfilled. So on the local level and the development, this came from the introduction of Panchayati Raj system. It made the people more and more aware. It is the Panchayati Raj system which forced the women to come in the front. And if we see the scenario, the voting percentage, there we find the percent of women is little bit equal or more than the men. It means the peoples are getting more and more conscious about their political rights. To achieve this target, the peoples are also making the pressure group. Pressure group is actually an organization or a group which actually do not take part in the election. They pressurize the political party to formulate the policy in their favors. We will find there are many political associations or are there means which are acting as the pressure group. It is the trade union, means any union we can say. It is the different caste union, because in the higher classes we will find it political party choose the candidate on the basis of the caste ratio, which caste is going to win it. It is not related to a single party, it is related to other party also. That's why more and more people are finding themselves more closely associated with the political party. That's why the participation is increasing. Yes, no doubt, participation is increasing in most part. As an average, we have seen that participation is increasing. But if you see the social groups wise, and if we see it by the on the basis of the regional basis, if the social groups we see, we find that the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe are more prone to go for the voting. If we see the areas wise, region wise, then we find that the voting percentage is more in the rural areas and the small town. But in the big towns, metropolitan cities, it is the a little bit lower one. It means the group of people who should have taken part in more enthusiastically, they are not taking part more enthusiastically in the this election. So you can say it that participation is there, but there is a concern. You peoples are going to be voter in the next future. So I do hope you should understand the importance of voting and the importance of voting who play a vital role in deciding the nation's future. So when you are coming, you don't sit idle at home, go and participate in the election. In this video, we have got the election commissioner or election commissions who is organizing it and the people's participations. So go through it and also go through your textbook. Thank you.